Hey, I'm Adam Jusko from ProudMoney.com. In this video, we are going to compare the Capital One Quicksilver versus the Chase Freedom Unlimited card. But before we do that, I would ask you to please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you have not already. And if you have already, I thank you for doing so. So one of the common credit card comparisons that people make, especially when they're sort of earlier in their credit career, you might say, is between the Capital One Quicksilver and the Chase Freedom Unlimited card. And while neither one of these cards is necessarily the best credit card on the market, the reason this is a common comparison is because both of these cards are usually open to people that have sort of average credit or don't have a particularly long credit history, so they are accessible cards to many people. Now they have a lot of similarities. They are both no annual fee cards. They actually had even more similarities, except Chase made a little change to the Chase Freedom Unlimited card recently, which is going to make things a little bit different when we do a comparison. It's actually the reason that I'm doing a comparison now versus in the past, because they used to be almost the same card, and now they are a little different, especially in the first year, so we're going to talk about that. Now, for purposes of this video, I am going to assume that you are going after one of these cards sort of in the scenario that I just said, meaning that maybe you are sort of earlier in your credit career, you don't have a lot of credit cards, and you are trying to choose between these two cards as sort of your main credit card, the card that most of your purchases are going to go on to. Maybe this is even your first credit card, or maybe you're kind of coming up from cards that didn't offer rewards. But again, I'm assuming that this is going to be your main credit card, and so we are going to look at the rewards that each one of them offers, as well as some other features based on that idea. So let's talk about each one of these cards individually, and then we will talk about which one might make more sense for you. The big difference between the cards is going to come in the form of the rewards you earn in the first year in particular. So the Chase Freedom Unlimited card is going to give you 3% cash back on everything that you buy in that first year up to $20,000 in purchases, which is a pretty high limit. If you happen to go over $20,000, then you would earn 1.5% cash back on anything beyond that. In years 2, 3, 4, 5, going forward, you would then get 1.5% cash back on all your purchases with the Chase Freedom Unlimited. So 3% first year, 1.5% on everything every year after that. With the Capital One Quicksilver, on the other hand, you're going to get 1.5% cash back right from the beginning on everything that you buy, and that is, basically how the rewards program works. It's always going to be 1.5% cash back on everything that you purchase. So you look at those two things together, and then obviously you would say to yourself, well, why would I get the Capital One Quicksilver when I know I can get 3% in the first year with the Chase Freedom Unlimited? That is twice as much, 3% versus 1.5%, right? Well, the reason is because the Chase Freedom Unlimited has no bonus for new card holders in that first year. So you're getting that 3% rate on all your purchases, but there's no opportunity for a bonus as a new card holder. With the Capital One Quicksilver, on the other hand, you have the opportunity to earn a $150 bonus if you spend $500 in the first 3 months of having the card. So you've got higher rate with the Chase Freedom Unlimited versus lower rate with the Capital One Quicksilver, but the opportunity for a $150 bonus. So let's take a look at how that might shake out in the first year, depending on how much you spend with each card, because that's really going to be the big question if you are trying to maximize your rewards. All right, so I pulled out my handy board here, which I have not pulled out in quite a while, to show some of the calculations based on the spending that you might do with each of these cards. So we are going to look at $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, and $20,000 of potential spend in that first year to see how they stack up. So if you're somebody that spends not a ton on your credit card, say you only spend $2,000 in that whole first year with either of these cards. With the Capital One card, we are going to assume that you would spend enough in those first 3 months, that $500, to get the $150 bonus. So you get that $150 bonus, and then your 1.5% off of $2,000 in that first year would only be $30, but put those together and you would earn $180. Now with the Chase Freedom Unlimited card, even though you're getting 3%, you haven't spent a ton, so you're only getting $60 in rewards. So in that first year, if you spent $2,000 on either one of these cards, you'd only get $60 versus $180. So obviously Capital One would be the choice there. Now if you spend $5,000 in that first year, you look at Capital One, $150 bonus, $75 on the 1.5% cash back, $225 total. Chase, $150. That's your 3% on $5,000 of spend. At $10,000, you can see that is the point where it is a wash, where the cards are the same. With the Capital One, you're getting the $150 bonus. You are getting the $150 on the 1.5% rate on that amount. So a $300 total on the Cap One, $300 on Chase is 3% of $10,000. So that is the point where they are equal. $10,000 is a lot of spend for a lot of people. So if you're somebody who's going to spend less than $10,000 per year, the Capital One is almost always going to be your choice, unless there's something about the Chase card other than the rewards that makes you want it more. But up to $10,000, Capital One seems to be the choice. Now we look at $20,000, which is the upper limit of where you'll still get that 3% on the Chase Freedom card. With Capital One, if you spent $20,000, you'd get that $150 bonus, and you get $300 based on the 1.5% cash back rate. You get $450. With the Chase Freedom Unlimited, you'd earn $600, which is 3% of $20,000. So obviously, if you're a big spender, you are going to get quite a bit more with Chase if you can get all the way up to that $20,000. At any point past $10,000, you're going to do better with the Chase Freedom Unlimited than you would with the Capital One Quicksilver. Any point before $10,000, Capital One is going to pay you more in that first year. And then obviously, once we get into year two, they both have the 1.5% cash back rate, so then they are going to be the same in terms of the rewards that they give you. So both of these cards have no minimum redemption, meaning that you can redeem your cash back at any point. Now there are two other points that I want to make about these cards that do factor into the decision for certain people. So the number one point to make is the fact that the Capital One Quicksilver has no foreign transaction fees, while the Chase Freedom Unlimited card has a 3% foreign transaction fee, which means if you use the card outside of the country and you use the Capital One card, you're not going to be charged any extra when you make your purchases outside of the United States. You bring your Chase Freedom Unlimited outside of the United States and you make purchases, there's going to be an extra 3% fee on everything that you purchase. So if you're somebody that ever goes out of the country, then that obviously can be a factor in terms of which of these cards you would choose. If you never go out of the country and you don't foresee yourself going out of the country, then obviously that's not a factor. And then that other factor to consider is the way redemptions are actually handled with each one of these cards. So with the Capital One Quicksilver, it's pretty straightforward. It is cash back. You can either get that as cash or you can use it as a statement credit, and then you also have the option to use your cash back toward gift cards. Now with Chase, you have more options, which may be more appealing to some people. So we've been talking about cash back, 3% in the first year, 1.5% every year after that. But technically, Chase is giving you your rewards in the form of Chase Ultimate Rewards points. So you're getting 3 points per dollar on your purchases in that first year, 1.5 points per dollar every year after that. Those points are worth a penny a piece if you use them toward cash. So 3 points is the same as 3%, 1.5 points is the same as 1.5%. However, you have the option to use those points for other rewards as well. In particular, you can use them toward travel, and you can combine them with other Chase cards that you may have. So if you are someone who either has other Chase cards that are part of the Chase Ultimate Rewards program, or you're thinking about getting other Chase cards, the Chase Freedom Unlimited may make sense for you. In particular, the Chase Sapphire Reserve and the Chase Sapphire Preferred, the higher end cards with higher annual fees. If you are thinking about getting one of those cards, you can actually pool your points from the Chase Freedom Unlimited with the Chase Sapphire Reserve, or Preferred, and when you pool those points and you use them toward travel, you actually get a boost on those points, so they're worth even more than when you started. So you put those points with the Chase Sapphire Preferred toward travel, and you would get a 25% boost. You combine them with the Chase Sapphire Reserve, if you had that card, and you use them toward travel, you would get a 50% boost on those points. So if you had one of those cards, say you had the Chase Sapphire Reserve, your 3% or 1.5% that we're thinking of as cash back, the actual worth could even be like 4.5% in that first year if used toward travel. If you were combining with the Chase Sapphire Reserve card. So that is something to consider if you are thinking of getting one of those higher end Chase cards. If you're not thinking about that, then the other uses for your Chase Ultimate Rewards points aren't really that great. The cash back is probably going to be your best option for most people, but if you're thinking about it, that's something to consider. So that's it. If you don't spend as much and you are interested in having a card that has no foreign transaction fees, the Capital One Quicksilver is probably the way to go. If you're someone that's going to spend a lot in that first year, you can really max out that 3% reward. The Chase Freedom Unlimited card might make sense for you, especially if you think that you might combine your points with other Chase cards in order to really max them out even further. So that is it. I would love to hear any comments that you have below or questions about the two cards, or if you have either or both of these cards, if there are any points that I missed, I'd love to hear that as well. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and as always, please go to proudmoney.com where we do credit card reviews and personal finance news and talk deals and all sorts of other fun stuff too. Thanks for watching. Bye.